Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. It is a privilege to serve as the president of Ball State University, and it is my pleasure to welcome you, our faculty and our staff and some students and some special guests, and to those of you who are watching us on the live stream, good morning and welcome to the Fall 2018 Convocation. Before we begin the program, I ask that you please rise and join Kelsey Cozen in singing our national anthem. Thank you, Kelsey, and also thank you to our Beneficence Brass Quintet. All of you represent the quality of the students who study and perform in our outstanding School of Music. I want to also extend a special welcome to some guests. We are joined this morning by Trustee Emeritus Hollis Hughes. Hollis, would you please stand and welcome home. Sitting next to Hollis is Trustee Tom Bracken. He's joined by Student Trustee Marley Jaycox, and in that same row is my lovely wife Jennifer and two of my wonderful 5 children, Claire and Molly. Thank you for joining us this morning. So today marks the beginning of my 2nd year as your president. I am fortunate, today and every day, I'm fortunate to have the opportunity to serve you and to serve with you. Now, as you probably know, we typically have the Provost provide the welcome at this event, but our new Provost, Dr. Susana Rivera Mills, has only been with us for a few weeks. So instead of her introducing me, which seemed a little awkward, I've decided to assume the privilege of introducing her. Susana has a distinguished academic record. She earned her bachelor's degree and her master's degree at the University of Iowa, and she earned her PhD from the University of New Mexico. Susana was a teacher, and she is an accomplished scholar. Susana is also an experienced and effective administrator. She has been a department chair, an associate dean, and a vice provost. And in these roles, she has developed and implemented programs and support services that have enabled students, all students, to succeed. This commitment to success is the product of her professional experience. It is also reflective of her own life experience. See, when Susana was only 12 years old, she and her family fled the violence in El Salvador, and they emigrated to our country. Like many of our students, she is a first-generation college student. Susana understands the value of education because education transformed her life. Education changed the trajectory of her family. She is the embodiment of the transformative power of education. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the new Provost of Ball State University, Dr. Susana Rivera Mills.
Thank you so much, President Mearns, for that kind introduction. And thank you all. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for coming to our convocation on this stormy Friday morning. I am always amazed at how quickly summer goes by, but I hope that you have all had both a productive and a restorative summer. This is indeed my first convocation at Ball State, and I am excited to begin this new academic year with you, and I look forward to working alongside of you to build on our academic excellence. I am eager to work with you as we celebrate our centennial year and as we move forward on our strategic plan. I want to take a few moments this morning to share with you why I am here, what impressions I have gained in the last 6 weeks, and my reflections as I look to our future. My interview on campus was a whirlwind of introductions and meetings, but what I saw then has been confirmed in the last few weeks. You, both the Ball State family and the Muncie community, are made up of very special people. But it goes beyond Hoosier hospitality. There is a genuine sense of gratitude for our resources, for our opportunities, and for our professional and personal relationships. There is a synergy and commitment of faculty, staff, and students to Ball State that is rooted in a spirit of service to Muncie and the surrounding communities. We understand that we are in this together, and that is both exciting and inspiring. It is also something that we can build upon, perhaps like no other institution of higher education. We are poised for the challenges of implementing a new strategic plan, and we are also poised to overcome the financial, social, and political issues facing higher education today, and the challenges that we personally and collectively wrestle with as we consider what it means to belong to a community, to live beneficence. I was impressed and moved by my office open house when so many of you visited, from brand new faculty hires who hadn't yet started to emeriti faculty members who retired many years ago, from students to staff, faculty and administrators, from personnel in athletics who came all the way from Worthen Arena, to student affairs colleagues who walked across University Avenue. You welcomed me and made me feel at home, and for that I am deeply grateful. I am proud to join the Ball State community. In the short time I have been here, I have seen and experienced firsthand the commitment to both a student-centric environment and to supporting one another, a true definition of what it means to be collegial. We are doing incredible work with immersive learning, being innovative in the way that we integrate career development into academic programs, providing broader access through online education, and building partnerships with communities and businesses that provide real-life applications for students, all of which is not possible without a faculty that deeply engages in state-of-the-art practices around teaching, research, scholarship, and creative activities, and is committed to placing students at the core of what we do best, inclusive excellence. And you will hear more about some of these outstanding colleagues later on when I announce our university awards. My first year here will be very much about listening and learning. To that end, I have asked to meet with academic departments and units in the coming weeks and months. Now there's one of me and many of you, so I do ask that you be patient as I make my way to each of your units. I am looking forward to working with all of you through governance to assure high academic quality programs for student success and faculty achievement. I will be working collaboratively with our leaders to review our budget model. It is no secret that those conversations will be difficult, but I am confident they will be thoughtful, data-informed, and in full support of our mission and vision. In my early meetings with academic leadership, we have already begun reviewing what I call foundational operations, processes, and policies to provide clarity, consistency, and increased communication. I actually gave the deans homework. And by the way, Deans, the first part is due at the end of today. But kidding aside, all of these efforts around curriculum and programs, budget, personnel, space, vision, and mission must continue to be grounded in a context that embraces diversity, promotes equity, and practices inclusivity. I touched on those concepts during my interview, and you touched on those concepts during our brief conversations at my open house. My professional career has been built on embracing diversity, not just expecting it, not just advocating it, but truly embracing it. My passion comes from educational training. It comes from my professional experiences and my research, spending time with many Latino communities throughout the United States. And as you heard from the President, it is also born of my lived experience, of moments such as washing my hands in a public bathroom and having a woman come in and ask me if I was finished cleaning the restroom despite the fact that I was professionally dressed, of shopping in a grocery store only to have others look at me and assume that I did not speak English before I ever opened my mouth. We have an obligation to honor and respect each other's experiences and to teach that to our students. We must live up to a commitment to educate all students in ways that stimulate the development of critical thinking skills and analytical tools to not only understand the social issues we face, but also have a sense of their role and responsibility in contributing to shape the world in which we live. Students should be engaging with this type of work early on in their academic careers in order to give them a lens and framework that they can then apply in other courses and make meaningful connections across disciplines and in their communities. In the words of Paulo Freire, Brazilian philosopher and educator, education either functions as an instrument which is used to facilitate integration of the younger generation into the logic of the present system and bring about conformity, or it becomes the practice of freedom, the means by which men and women deal critically and creatively with reality and discover how to participate in the transformation of their world. Through our curriculum and extracurricular activities, we can help our students grow in their empathy and in their ability to articulate how their experiences are different and are valued. I have always told my students that the most powerful asset we have is our personal story. And in sharing our stories, we begin to not only appreciate our different experiences, but build common ground. We have the tools and the expertise in all of you, our faculty, to help our students articulate and advocate, to build and deconstruct, and build again resolutions to conflict and disagreements while encouraging collaboration of diverse perspectives to reach solutions to complex problems. We have a responsibility to each other to engage in crucial, timely, and civil dialogue. We will not always agree, but we will never agree if we don't continue in-depth, honest, and authentic conversations that get us closer to who we aspire to be. We must look to our diversity as a source of enrichment and strength. And this work begins with each one of us allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. As some of you have heard me say already, I have discovered that the work of diversity is a marathon, not a sprint. It has to go beyond ideals, rhetoric, and demographics. It has to go beyond definitions, check sheets, and formulaic phrases. It cannot be work that remains on the surface. We have to embody it so that it becomes part of our daily practice and our daily reflection, and also our daily self-assessment. Because the word diversity, unfortunately, has been so overused, I want to share with you, as I close my remarks, an excerpt of a poem that I wrote a few years ago to better express how I view diversity in our daily practice. The poem is called The Difference. The difference lies in how we walk with others, not where we stand against them. It must become the disposition to suspend the inclusion of oneself in order to include others. It has to be an attitude of letting other voices be heard while silencing our own, letting others be seen while we go to the margins. It requires a willingness and courage to critically examine ourselves while remaining vulnerable and open to a learning exchange with people outside our comfort zone and previous experiences. It is only in doing this and knowing this that we can hear the other by deeply listening, see those that are invisible by truly being attentive, and move ahead not by pushing others back out of our own sense of fear and insecurity, but by clasping hands and propelling off of each other's strengths, which come not just by what we have in common, but precisely by what is different and complementary. Today, I invite each of you to join me in this very challenging work, and I hope I can count on all of you to continue the very important work of inclusive excellence. Thank you for listening. Now, on the topic of excellence, I have the pleasure of announcing our university awards for the year. But first, let me make a few introductions. Would members of the President's Cabinet stand and be recognized, please? Thank you. Thank you. A special welcome to Sue Hodges-Moore, Chief Strategy Officer, Becca Rice, Vice President for Governmental Relations, and Beth Getz, Athletic Director, as this is also their first fall convocation. Would our deans please stand and be recognized? As many of you know, Dean Paige Turner is new on campus, and I trust that you will welcome her as well. We have several new visiting scholars who have joined us or who will be joining us in the next few days. Would any visiting scholars who have joined us this morning please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Thank you. At this time, it is my privilege to present awards to those who have been designated as outstanding by their colleagues and students. All of these awards we're about to present involve detailed selection processes and long hours of reviewing nominations and supporting materials by committee members. I want to thank all of you for helping us continue this tradition and for recognizing these deserving colleagues. The first two awards were previously announced, but we would like to recognize the recipients here. Will Jennifer Chrisman please come forward? Established more than 25 years ago by Victor Lawhead, former Dean of Undergraduate Programs, and his wife, Doris Lawhead, a former academic advisor, the Lawhead Teaching Award in General Education recognizes contributions to teaching and service in the university core curriculum. The 2017-2018 award recipient is Jennifer Chrisman. So let me tell you a little bit about Jennifer. Her nominators were both colleagues and students, and they all attest to her extraordinary passion, compassion, and commitment to teaching Introduction to Criminal Justice. Her questions are challenging, her examples and anecdotes are enlightening, and her discussions are inclusive. She is known for holding students to high standards and meeting them where they live by using multiple communication, technology, and learning space resources to help them achieve. Congratulations, Jennifer. There are two recipients of our next award. Would Morgan Leckie and James Stroud come to the stage, please? The Excellence in Teaching Award, or EXIT Award, is a means to recognize faculty dedication, talent, and innovation in the classroom. The selection process begins with students nominating their choices of excellent teachers. Finalists are then invited to submit a proposal on making an existing course more innovative. Morgan will enhance English 104 composing research. In part, the student experience will be augmented through implementing elements of the IRB process as they pursue person-based research in the creation of a digitally designed video documentary. Jim's course, Ed L 100, Education in a Democratic Society, will be enhanced by incorporating community engagement through an after-school program resulting in a children's book on anti-gun violence. Both Jim and Morgan will share more about their experiences as part of our spring colloquium series. Congratulations to Morgan and Jim. Now, the next awards are being announced for the first time today. You may not be aware that our colleagues at the Foundation have financially supported these awards for many years. We are grateful that they are willing to do so again this year. I ask the recipients to come to the stage when their name is announced. I want to acknowledge that the nomination materials are much more detailed and richer than what you will hear me describe today. These are colleagues that are very deserving of these awards, and I encourage you to talk with each one of them regarding their achievements. Named after Dean Emeritus of the former School of Extended Education, the Rawlings Outstanding Distance Education Teaching Award honors a faculty member dedicated to teaching in the online environment. This year, the award is presented to Dr. Jill Bradley Levine. According to her nominators, Jill has brought new energy, dedication, and innovative instruction to educational studies online course offerings, and she has been instrumental in the continued growth of online degree programs. The most striking aspect of her courses is the exceptionally detailed and very clear presentation of course materials. Jill's online course experience offers a guide-on-the-side approach to facilitate student learning, which helps her connect with her students' needs and abilities. A review of her course materials clearly demonstrates that Jill has developed exemplary instructional aids for her students and that she has a keen eye for innovative methods that prompt continued excellence in online teaching and learning. Congratulations, Jill. Given in recognition of demonstrated excellence in championing the cause of diversity and inclusion, the Outstanding Diversity Advocate Award is presented to Dr. Maria Hernandez Finch. Dr. Hernandez Finch has worked tirelessly to promote an inclusive and positive climate to ensure the success of our students. Maria's professional leadership has impacted diversity awareness and inclusion at the university, community, state, and national levels. Maria is a member of both the University Diversity Committee and the Office of Institutional Diversity Advisory Committee. She has been a diversity associate and has twice been recognized for diversity research from the OID. Nationally, Maria is serving as co-chair of the Social Justice Interest Group in the National Association of School Psychologists. Recognized at the national and international level, Maria's research represents her continuous commitment to diversity issues. Over the past 5 years, she has published 12 peer-reviewed articles related to diversity, including research that explores cutting-edge statistical techniques to improve data analysis of small samples, promoting a way for researchers to examine diverse subgroups and participants. Congratulations, Maria. The Creative Endeavor Award is given in recognition of contributions to the university community in the creative arts. This year, the recipient excels in the theatrical arts. The Outstanding Creative Endeavor Award is presented to Jennifer Blackmer. Jennifer brings her talent and sense of wonder to her teaching and creative work. Jennifer's work as a playwright spans a variety of human experiences, from the intimate and personal work Unraveled, a play about a woman dealing with the death of her mother, to questions of social justice in her military drama, Human Terrain, which tells the story of an anthropologist embedded with a combat unit in Iraq, to the hard questions of how women are objectified in her stage adaptation of Margaret Atwood's Alias Grace. Jennifer's plays manage to talk about individual human pain and joy while asking bigger questions about societal constructs. Unravel will mark her off-Broadway debut this fall. At the same time, Alias Grace, which premiered last fall in Chicago, will have another production mounted at the Clarence Brown Theater in Knoxville, Tennessee. Additionally, Jennifer won a grant from the renowned Tribeca Film Festival to adapt Human Terrain into a screenplay with the very real promise that it will be turned into a film. Congratulations, Jennifer. The Outstanding Faculty Advisor Award is given to the faculty advisor who best demonstrates both the informal and relational aspects of quality advising. This year's recipient is Dr. William Moser. Since joining the BSU faculty, Bill's commitment to student advising has guided literally thousands of students through their academic programs and beyond into their professional careers. In fact, one nominator noted that almost all of last year's Miller College of Business alumni winners specifically thanked Bill for his guidance and care. Progressing from paper forms and punch cards to dappers and now degree audits and mapping, Bill has worked with majors and minors pursuing degrees in both marketing and business administration, helping students to meet program requirements and helping them individualize their learning and coursework. In addition, Bill developed and teaches a popular marketing and business administration capstone elective called Self-Marketing, which is designed to complement traditional advising and position students for entry into the job market. Congratulations, Bill. The Outstanding Faculty Service Award is given in recognition of exceptional professional service to the department, college, university, profession, community, or a combination thereof. And this year, the award is presented to Michael Dane. Michael is tirelessly dedicated to making Ball State and Muncie a better and more vibrant place to live and work. While his service to the department, college, and university are exemplary, it is his service to the local, state, and national arts communities that demonstrate his outstanding service. In just the last year, Michael has made a measurable impact on the future of funding for the arts and arts education policy within our state and country. In his capacity as Indiana State Captain for Americans for the Arts and selection to the Education Theater Association Advocacy Leadership Network, Michael helped, it's a long name, Michael helped lead 3 trips to Washington, D.C. to train art educators and to lobby representatives to protect arts funding. His tireless advocacy helped lead the U.S. Senate Appropriations Committee to preserve full funding for the NEA in its 2018 budget. Michael also started after-school theater programs at numerous local schools, including Burris, the Indiana Academy, and Northside Middle School. Congratulations, Michael.
And I just found out it's Michael's birthday. Happy birthday, Michael.
The Outstanding Administrative Service Award is presented to Dr. Sharon Bowman. Now that's a cheering section. Okay. Professor and Department Chair of the Department of Counseling, Psychology, Social Psychology, and Counseling, Sharon leads a complex department consisting of 3 nationally accredited graduate degree programs, 1 dual graduate degree program in clinical mental health and social psychology, 1 undergraduate minor in interpersonal relations, and a counseling training clinic that serves the local Muncie, Delaware County community. Under her leadership, the department received the 2005 Department of the Year Award from the American Psychological Association of Graduate Students and was recognized as 11th in research productivity in major counseling psychology journals. Sharon's administrative leadership and skills have been essential during times of change, especially the department's decision to move from Teachers College to the College of Health. Sharon led this change, keeping her faculty collaboratively focused over 2 years of innumerable planning meetings with much anxiety. As you can imagine, change is hard. Her skills at leading, managing, guiding, and ultimately concluding lengthy and sometimes controversial faculty discussions were the force behind the successful move. Additionally, Sharon has made significant impact on the field of counseling psychology, serving as the president-elect, president, and past president of the APA Society of Counseling Psychology, and serving on the Indiana State Psychology Board since 1999. Thank you, Sharon. Congratulations. The Outstanding Teaching Award honors a full-time faculty member who models excellence in teaching. This year's recipient is Dr. James Stroud. The hallmarks of Jim's teaching are innovation, positive relationships with students and colleagues, scholarship, educational leadership, and an unwavering passion for the teaching profession. As his students attest, Jim is effectively preparing students for the teaching profession in that he sets an example for what kind of teacher they want to be, and he talks about what they really need to think about. Jim's courses are highly innovative, hands-on, and relational. Students describe them as an outside-the-box, engaging, and offering different learning strategies. In one example, dressed as a surgeon in scrubs, he provides students with tools and resources to perform surgery on the American public education system. Students use knowledge about education reform movements, lecture information, and historical events to surgically improve public education, resulting in a public release statement to the media. Students report this as one of the most memorable experiences in their program. He has also received several teaching honors, including the Excellence in Teaching Award by the Student Education Association, the Hoosier Education Award from the Indiana Association for the Education of Young Children, the National Clinical Faculty Award from the Association of Teacher Educators, and the Top 25 Professors in America Award. Congratulations, Jim. The Outstanding Research Award is presented to Dr. Joseph Marshall. Joe is a prolific researcher of international Joe is a prolific researcher of international distinction who has quickly become a world leader in his field. He is producing bold, discipline-changing, and multifaceted works that are garnering rave reviews at a pace that is nothing short of stunning. Since joining us in 2008, he has published 5 books, 24 peer-reviewed journal articles and book chapters, and 8 smaller pieces. He is under contract for 2 forthcoming books and has a 3rd proposal under review. 9 more articles and book chapters are underway, and he will be editing a special volume of a journal. Not too busy there, Joe. He has also 26 peer-reviewed presentations at national and international meetings. His work is unusually transdisciplinary. He combines hermeneutical and historical methodologies while working in the fields of gender studies, biblical studies, and ancient studies to produce scholarship that makes an impact in multiple fields. His intersectional approach is transforming the nature of scholarship in his subdisciplines. As one reviewer noted, Dr. Marshall has succeeded in drawing students in the 21st century into a world of the first century in ways that invite fresh questions and new wrestling with the range of challenges facing students of religion today. Joe is among a small elite group of top scholars in queer, gender-critical, and post-colonial interpretations of the letters of Paul, the most studied portion of the Bible. For seasoned scholars and students alike, Joe's work is readable, clear, creative, insightful, and often provocative, and always compelling. Congratulations, Joe. The Outstanding Junior Faculty Award is given in recognition of demonstrated excellence in teaching, scholarly, or creative productivity and service by a tenure-track faculty member who has been at Ball State for no more than 5 years and no more than 7 years in higher education. This year's Outstanding Junior Faculty Award recipient is Dr. Kimberly Soder Martell. Dr. Zoder Martel has excelled in teaching, scholarly productivity, and service since she started at Ball State in 2014. In the area of scholarly productivity, Kim has a total of 15 peer-refereed journal publications, 2 invited publications, and 36 presentations. Her line of research, which appears in prestigious journals such as Research in Developmental Disabilities, Psychology in the Schools, and the International Journal of School Psychology, is focused on the study of individuals with autism spectrum disorders and behavioral interventions. She also is developing research in teleconsultation. Kim is a licensed psychologist and a board-certified behavior analyst doctoral. To maintain her clinical skills and to give back to the local community, Kim is an ABA consultant at the Hillcroft ABA Clinic in Muncie and at the Behavior Works ABA Clinic in Indianapolis. Kim is very active in the Hoosier Association for Behavior Analysis, where she serves as the chair of the Licensure Committee and interim chair of the Communications Committee. Recently, she co-authored 2 legislative bills which will positively impact those who hold the BCBA and Board Certified Associate Behavior Analyst credential. Congratulations, Kim. And last but certainly not least, the Outstanding Faculty Award winner is Dr. Sharon Paulson. Sharon's contributions to Ball State and her profession are too lengthy to mention here, but I wish to highlight just a few. She has received all 3 Teacher College Awards for teaching, research, and service. The Research and Service Awards were earned while serving as department chair and simultaneously holding the position of interim associate dean. Sharon is a prolific scholar and transformative researcher who has made a lasting and powerful change in her fields of developmental and educational psychology, especially with instrumental advances in the area of parenting styles. In fact, she is the creator of a leading theory of parenting that has fundamentally changed the way researchers and practitioners consider how to examine the role of parents in children's lives. Her approach to augment the outdated perception of parenting styles has been the foundation of many other researchers' entire careers, examining the impact that parenting practices have on children's educational and life achievements. For a quick point of evidence, a recent search in Google Scholar indicates that her top 3 papers on this topic collectively have been referenced in peer-reviewed literature over 1,000 times. Under her leadership as chair, the department actively expanded graduate and undergraduate programs, oversaw the creation and expansion of very popular online programs, effectively increased external funding, established new strategies for funding doctoral students, and expanded community relationships through direct services in community efforts. Sharon has a long and sustained record of service to her fields in all dimensions of the university, and we offer our thanks and congratulations, Sharon. Can we congratulate all of these folks one more time, please? I would like to ask all of our award recipients to please return to the stage after we adjourn today so that we can take some photos. At this time, it is my pleasure to ask President Jeffrey Mearns to return to the podium.
Thank you, Susana, and let me join Susana in extending my own congratulations to all of the award recipients this morning. I also want to thank you. Thank you for your contributions to this university. Those contributions are valued and appreciated. And now to you, our faculty and our staff. We have students and guests. Thank you for joining us this morning. I want to express my appreciation to all of you for your commitment to Ball State. So last August, when I walked to this podium, I had one principal objective. My goal was to demonstrate to you that notwithstanding a protracted transition in leadership, that our university is strong and it is getting stronger every day. So I talked about our enrollment growth and the rapid sustained improvement in our on-time 4-year graduation rates. I talked about the various honors and awards that our students and our faculty and our staff had received. I reminded you that our university is distinctive. We're distinctive because our faculty and staff are committed personally to the success of our students. And I told you about several of our graduates, women and men, who are using the knowledge and the skills that they have received here from you to have successful careers and to lead meaningful lives in service to others. After the convocation, I was gratified that many of you expressed your appreciation for my having returned our collective focus on our sustained success, not on a temporary distraction. And I was particularly pleased that some of you told me that my remarks that morning renewed your pride in Ball State. You told me that the observations I made also encouraged you to be optimistic about our future. In my view, that pride is well-founded. You are the reason that all of us should be proud to be members of this special university community, and you are the reason that I am optimistic about our future. And today I want to share with you why I am increasingly optimistic, notwithstanding the challenges that we face. I will share with you why my pride and my enthusiasm continues to grow as we embark upon the second century of Ball State. One significant source of that pride comes with the physical growth and transformation that is visible to anyone who comes to our campus. The realignment of McKinley Avenue, right, Jim? The realignment of McKinley Avenue is now complete. We've added a traffic circle, not a roundabout. We've added a traffic circle to the north side of campus to make that area safer for pedestrians. This project will also help us to prepare for the construction of 2 new residence halls as part of our North residential neighborhood. The first residence hall will accommodate approximately 500 students in a new STEM living learning community. This residence hall and a new dining hall facility will be completed in the year 2020. Then, after we demolish Carmichael Hall next summer, we will build a second new residence hall, which will be completed in 2021. These 2 new residence halls and the new dining hall will allow us to complete the demolition of the beloved La Follette complex. And right across the street from this auditorium, we are building our new East Academic Quad. Next year, we will complete the construction of our new Health Professions building. This facility will include classrooms, labs, and clinical spaces for students, faculty, and staff from our College of Health. We formed this college in response to the growing need for healthcare professionals in Indiana and all across our country. And just to the south of the Health Professions building, in 2019, we will build our new Foundational Science building. And this facility will allow us to continue to expand our growing biology and chemistry programs. The new science building will be completed in 2021. And we all should be grateful that the General Assembly has provided us with the extraordinary funds to complete these 2 major projects. And because of the state's investment, we can use our resources to build a new East Mall. This new mall will connect the East Quad and the Student Recreation and Wellness Center. This pedestrian and bicycle-friendly path will run from Ashland Avenue in the Village all the way to Neely Avenue in the north. And the path will alleviate more congestion along McKinley Avenue, and it will provide new places for our faculty and staff and students to gather. To create this new East Mall, we will construct a new parking garage just to the south of the Studebaker complex on the eastern edge of our campus. Once this parking structure is completed, we will demolish the Emmons garage and replace it with a new grand lawn. On the western border of this lawn, we will then build a new $4 million multicultural center. Thank you. This new multicultural center will be in the heart of our campus, where it belongs. And so I wanted to share with you, I remember the first time I saw our current center. I was walking my dog last summer on a Saturday afternoon, and I saw an outdated sign in front of a modest, small white house. The sign said that this structure was our Multicultural Center. I'd been president here for a few months, and no one had suggested that I tour the center. And that day I had discovered why. I then found out later that during our campus tours, we don't take prospective students and their family by the center because it might send the wrong message. The wrong message indeed. And that's why I'm proud in just a few years our new Multicultural Center will be located in the center of our campus. That is the message we want to send, that diversity and inclusion, as Susana said, must always be at the center of all that we do. And I want to take a moment to thank our outstanding staff, the women and men who are responsible every day for the design of these facilities and perhaps even more importantly for the daily maintenance of our facilities on our campus. Every day, rain or snow, whether it's Monday or Sunday, they make Ball State a clean, beautiful place to work, to teach, and to study. Thank you very much. You know, these beautiful facilities and our affordable tuition, they attract exceptional students to our university, and our enrollment continues to be strong. Last fall, we enrolled 22,500 students, the largest student head count in our history. We enrolled more than 4,000 new freshmen, just 3 shy of an all-time record. But more importantly, our freshman class was the most academically qualified and diverse freshman class in our history. This freshman class will be just a little bit smaller, and our total enrollment is not likely to break last year's record. But yesterday I received from K-Bale some very good news. This year's freshman class will be as qualified and even more diverse than last year's class. And now we want to build on those successes. As you know, a few weeks ago, we announced a change in our admissions policy. This change makes submitting standardized test scores, SAT or ACT scores, it makes them optional for most students seeking undergraduate admission for 2019. And as we know, research shows that college applications for those institutions increased by more than 10%. But perhaps more importantly, we know that those are not necessarily good predictors of success at a university or in life. And so this policy will help us to attract an even more diverse student population, because we also know that standardized tests often constitute an unwarranted barrier for some students. And I am proud that we are the first large public university in Indiana to remove that unwarranted barrier to access and success. New buildings, flexible admissions policies, they help us to enroll more students who we know will succeed. But the most important factors contributing to our success is the quality of our academic programs and the dedication of our faculty and staff. I want to tell you about a few of those programs and some of those people this morning. Our Emerging Media Design and Development program is an interdisciplinary master's program focused on strategic communications. The program launched just a few years ago in the fall of 2015, and in just that short period of time, the program has grown to 57 students. And one of our Ball State students, one of our EMDD students, they have worked on nationally and internationally recognized projects with partners that include the USA Men's Olympic Volleyball Team, the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra, the Vatican and Professor Garfield Foundation. It's a little bit of a contrast, as well as David Letterman. And then this spring, I got ahead of myself just a moment ago, this spring, one of our EMDD graduate students, Erica Espinoza, became the first Ball State student to win a Pulitzer Prize. So Erica is not only a current student, she also earned her undergraduate degree here, and she was part of a team from the Arizona Republic and the USA Today network that won the prize for its in-depth reporting of the border wall between our country and Mexico. And Erica credits the professor. And if you've met Jen, you would know what I'm talking about. But not only did she shape my design skills, she taught me to speak up and to be proud of the work that I produce. Both Ryan and Jen saw the potential in me. I'm blessed to have met both of them. And let's take a moment to recognize this significant accomplishment for Erica and our colleagues in the College of Communication, Information, and Media. Erica is here this morning. Erica, would you please stand? So let me tell you about a few more of our talented faculty. Dave Largent is an associate lecturer in our computer science department. Dave was recently named a senior member of the Association for Computing Machinery. Dave and his colleagues in the College of Sciences and Humanities are now working with faculty in the Teachers College to create a new undergraduate degree in computer science education. This new degree will help more teachers with computer science training. These graduates will then be able to provide quality STEM instruction in K-12 classrooms throughout the state. And then our new master's degree in social work is also addressing critical needs in our state. And I'm grateful to Greta Yoder-Slater in our College of Health. She is directing this new program. The program will help ease the demand for well-trained social workers who can address societal challenges ranging from the opioid epidemic to the care of aging baby boomers. My wife reminded me this morning I celebrated a birthday last week, so I have a personal interest in ensuring that there are more trained professionals to care for aging baby boomers. Thank you, Jennifer. 4 graduate students from our School of Kinesiology won the 2018 College Sport Research Institute Graduate Case Study Competition. Not just once, not just twice. This is the 3rd time in the past 6 years that Ball State has taken top honors at this prestigious national event. And then in our College of Architecture Planning, Professor Walter Gronzik received the 2018 Passive Solar Pioneer Award from the American Solar Energy Society. This award recognizes Walter's lifelong contributions to the field of sustainable design. And the construction management program in CAP, led by Professor James Jones, placed a record 73 interns in industry settings just this past summer. For the 4th year in a row, every one of our construction management majors secured a job before she or he graduated from Ball State. Professor Steve Avila was honored by the American Risk and Insurance Association with the 2018 Excellence in Teaching Award. Under Steve's leadership, our risk management and insurance program was ranked in the top 15 in the country by Best Reviews, and it was designated as a global center of insurance excellence by the International Insurance Society. Now, many of our graduates from the Miller College of Business use their education to excel in various businesses. But some of our graduates from that college also use their training to lead important nonprofit organizations. For example, David Northern came to Ball State from Gary, Indiana. He wanted to play football and to get an accounting degree. He thought that his education would help him become a CEO in a corporation. But his abilities and his ambitions have led him to pursue a different path. David was the first African American to become the chief executive officer of the Lake County, Illinois Housing Authority, one of the leading public housing authorities in our country. And David says that as a result of his experience and his education here at Ball State, he has, and these are his words, he has an intense drive to create a better quality of life for other people. And our program in that college continues to receive financial support from our alumni and our friends. This past year, the college completed a $3 million fundraising campaign that resulted in renaming the Department of Accounting in honor of our beloved Professor Paul Parkinson. This campaign follows on the heels of the successful $1 million fundraising campaign for the Widener Center for Residential Property Management, and we have now almost completed a $1.5 million campaign for what will soon become our new Kent C. Oz Nelson Logistics and Supply Chain Management Center of Excellence. Oz Nelson, a Ball State graduate, is the former CEO of UPS. These campaigns have succeeded because we have so many loyal and generous alumni and friends. In fact, this past year, our university generated more than $21 million in current contributions and another $21 million in future financial commitments. And these numbers far exceed any fundraising totals from the past 5 years. And we are fortunate to have foundation board members who support our efforts to raise donations that provide critical support to our university. And I'm also grateful to the staff of the foundation, the women and the men who engage, identify, and inspire these generous benefactors. This past year has also been a good year for our colleagues in the College of Fine Arts. Brad Conde, who is a professor of animation, produced a short film entitled A Drawing. His film has been accepted into 40 film festivals, and it's won 11 awards, including the Best Animated Film at the Breckenridge Film Festival, one of the oldest film festivals in the nation. And while I've not yet seen David's film, Jennifer and I did enjoy attending several concerts on campus this year, including the President's Concert in September, the Holiday Choral Concert in December, and the Showcase Concert in April. We know from personal experience that, simply put, our School of Music is outstanding. Jennifer and I also enjoyed visiting the David Owsley Museum of Art, and she was honored to serve as a guest judge for the museum's annual Art in Bloom fundraiser. And the quality of our programs, of our arts programs, continues to soar, and we are gaining more national recognition, deserved national recognition every year. And one fact demonstrates my point. Last year, more than 1,500 prospective students from across the country auditioned for only 40 available openings in our BFA program in acting and musical theater. Congratulations to our colleagues in the Department of Theater and Dance for this remarkable achievement. And one of the department's transformative educational experiences deserves just a moment of special mention. Last November, Sutton Foster, who has won 2 Tony Awards, returned once again to our campus to work with our students to record her latest album. In the liner notes of her new CD, Sutton included a photograph of herself with our cabaret students. She thanked our faculty, staff, and students for being so welcoming, referring to Ball State and Muncie as her second home. And obviously, we're grateful to her for that national exposure, but it's a testament to the quality of our programs in our College of Fine Arts that someone of her talent and international program would want to associate herself with us and to perform with our students. And our graduates have also earned national awards. You may have heard about Doug Jones. While majoring in broadcasting at Ball State, Doug also minored in theater, and he regularly performed as Charlie Cardinal at men's basketball games. And since graduating, Doug has appeared in dozens of movies and many television roles. And this past year, Doug played the humanoid amphibian in The Shape of Water, a film that won 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Kathy, if you'll forgive me, we know at Ball State we fly. Apparently, we can also swim. Sorry, Kathy. Another program that continues to draw national interest is our digital sports production concentration in the Department of Telecommunications. In June, students participating in SportsLink won 4 more regional Emmys, led by Tyler Bradfield, who won in the feature segment category for the 3rd year in a row. Tyler is a talented storyteller who deserves the national recognition he has received. One of the profiles he created with Connor Nichols, another Ball State student, is entitled Dear Teddy. It is the story of Teddy Williamson, a Ball State graduate who finished his football career as our team captain. And at the same time, Teddy was mending his fractured relationship with his incarcerated father. Another one of our student athletes whose compelling story has been featured by SportsLink is Elisa Heinschel, who graduated from our College of Sciences and Humanities last May. Elisa earned a perfect 4.0, and she became only the 2nd Cardinal soccer player in history to be named a first-team academic All-American by the College Sports Directors of America. Alyssa and Carly Shannon, a graduate of our College of Health's Exercise Science program, both received prestigious NCAA postgraduate scholarships to continue their graduate work this fall. In the past 2 years, 11 NCAA postgraduate scholarships have been awarded to student athletes in the MAC in just those 2 years. And over that 2-year period, of those 11 scholarships, 5 have gone to Ball State athletes. That's an achievement we should all be proud of. And I'm proud of the way they perform in the classroom, and I'm proud of the way they perform and compete for national championships. Regan Lewis, a nursing major from our College of Health, became the first Cardinal track athlete to compete in the NCAA track and field championships in more than a decade. Regan is a high jumper. She cleared this year 5 feet 10 inches. That's about my height, okay? I don't think Regan is here with us today. I don't think we want to demonstrate her skill. But with that performance, Regan placed 10th in the country. But that's not all about Regan. That's not just her athletic achievements. It was her 3.78 GPA is why she was named to the United States Track and Field and Cross Country Coaches Association All-American Individual Team. I'm proud of the achievements of our student athletes, but I want to share the accomplishments of a different competitive team, achievements that impressed me just as much. Under the leadership of Mary Moore from our Department of Communication Studies, our speech team has won 32 individual national titles and 8 consecutive team titles, and we've placed in the top 10 teams nationally for the past 6 years. And thanks to, yes. One of Mary's students was Caitlyn Govinda, a wildlife biology major. Caitlyn is minoring in communication studies because she wants to learn how to communicate wildlife research effectively to the public. Earlier this year, Caitlyn and her fellow classmate, a junior Maddie Clark, the two of them were selected as Udall Scholars, 2 of only 50 students nationwide to receive this prestigious award. Abbi Wagner is a recent honored college graduate who earned her degree in chemistry. Abbi received our university's 2nd graduate research fellowship from the National Science Foundation. And Robin Klaus, an honors college student majoring in physics, received a prestigious scholarship from the German Academic Exchange Service. This scholarship funded Robin's summer internship conducting research at a lab in Dresden, Germany. So we know, day in and day out, that our faculty play a key role in the success of our students. As teachers, scholars, our faculty educate, support, and inspire our students. But I want to take a moment to highlight the importance of our staff's contribution to those success. Coralie Young began working at Ball State 36 years ago this month. She started out by typing menus for dining services. And then in 2011, after working in the Career Center, she became secretary to the Dean of the Honors College. This past year, Coralie received the National Collegiate Honors Council Award for Administrative Excellence. Coralie was surprised to be chosen the best among her peers from colleges and universities all across the country. And this is what she said: "I just do my job day after day, treating people the way I would like to be treated, doing my best to meet deadlines, and always trying to improve processes for students." Coralie, I believe, is here today. Coralie, congratulations on receiving this honor. This is what Dean Emmerts shared. You bring out the best in everyone who works with you. Coralie, please stand so that we can acknowledge you. I met Coralie for the first time during a meeting with the Honors College staff and faculty. I also met many of you this past year during my walking tours of campus. And Jennifer joined me on many of those tours. And so over the course of more than 30 hours, we visited more than 50 buildings and more than 240 offices and departments, and I have one last tour scheduled for September. These tours helped me. I think they helped both of us. They helped us to learn so much more about the people of Ball State. We learned about your skill. We learned about your experience. We learned about your families, and we learned about your dedication. All of those things are the reasons for our success. I want to thank Stephanie and Brianne and Angel for coordinating the tours, and I want to express my appreciation to Jennifer Palalonis and Cortland Koch for joining me as my guides. And along the way, we had a one-man security detail, Officer Terrell Smith. Okay, hold on. I've come to accept very quickly that I'm just the president of Ball State, but that Terrell is clearly the most popular person on campus. Terrell, would you please stand so that your adoring fans can express their appreciation to you? Terrell, thank you for your service and your energy, and I look forward to seeing you again this year at the dunk tank. Last November, I stood before many of you on the stage of Sursa Hall and revealed our university's plans to launch a more visible marketing campaign. Our goal was to tell your stories with the passion and pride that they deserve. I'm grateful that this new marketing campaign also coincides with the celebration of our centennial. It is an historic time for our university as we remember how our campus has grown and how our university has served Muncie and the state of Indiana. Our centennial theme, it's beneficence, proud past and bright future. It honors the accomplishments of our faculty, our staff, our students, and our alumni. And I hope to see all of you and your colleagues back here in Emmons Auditorium on the evening of September 6th, which is the public kickoff of our year-long celebration. The night will begin with a Cardinal Red Carpet. Then we will show our student-produced Centennial documentary, From Normal to Extraordinary, Ball State's First Century. And after the film, we will have a street party on Riverside. So on your way out, pick up a ticket for the event, and if you haven't already, please pick up your Centennial t-shirt and your Centennial lapel pin. You know, so as we celebrate our proud past, it is important, it is imperative that we plan for our second century, for that bright future. So last January, I appointed a small but representative committee of faculty and staff to engage in a consultative process to develop that ambitious plan. The members of the committee are Jennifer Blackmer, Delana Boyd, Jean Crosby, Lynn Littleford, Jim Lowe, Susan McDowell, Jennifer Palalonis, and Ann Royer Engel. Jacqueline Posadas is the student member on our committee. Jacqueline is a first-generation college student who is a member of SGA and Latinx Student Union, is making the most of her leadership opportunities in preparation for a career in law. Sue Hodges-Moore, our new Chief Strategy Officer, has done an excellent job guiding that planning process. When we embarked on the process, as you know, we distributed a survey to faculty, staff, and students. We received nearly 1,500 responses from you. We also had 8 open forums for faculty and staff. Approximately 300 of you joined us for one or more of those forums, each of which was focused on a different strategic theme. We had a special forum for the Ball State University Foundation and our Alumni Council. The members of this Alumni Council, they are passionate supporters of our university. And as the governing body of the Alumni Association, they represent more than 190,000 Ball State graduates. Our final forum took place in June. We invited our community partners and friends to join us at the Horizon Convention Center. More than 100 people shared their opinions about what we were doing well and what we can do better. They offered us their big, bold ideas. And I want to thank you and everyone for sharing your thoughts and for sharing your aspirations, for sharing your dreams of Ball State with us. The committee is now evaluating all of that input. But I want to take a moment to share an extraordinary experience that occurred at one of the 2 student forums. During the forum, I had an opportunity to tell the students that we believe that our faculty and staff are personally committed to the success of our students. I indicated that it was this distinctive attribute, a distinctive attribute of our culture, That was a point of pride that we share with prospective students and their families. And so I asked the students to raise their hands if, based upon their experience on our campus, that this representation was an accurate one. Every student who was with us that evening raised his or her hand. That was impressive. That is very gratifying. So then I gave the students an assignment. I asked them to stop by the office of a faculty member, a professor whose teaching and mentoring had contributed to their growth and development. Or they could take a moment to speak to a staff member like Coralie, whose support had contributed to their success. And I told these students to tell you and your colleagues, thank you. Thank you for sharing and caring about my success. I don't know how many completed the assignment I gave them. So let me take a moment today to say, on behalf of all of our students and all of our graduates, thank you. I'm grateful for your service. You make all of us proud. You know, I shared this memorable experience last month when the committee had a retreat with the Board of Trustees, and the Strategic Planning Committee provided them with the summaries of all of the input we had received throughout the spring. As I mentioned, the committee is now discussing and analyzing all of this information so that we can draft a strategic plan that will enable us to fulfill the exceptional potential of our university. We're going to disseminate this draft for your review and feedback in just a few weeks, but I want to take a few minutes this morning to give you a preview of what the committee will propose. Every good strategic plan includes a mission statement, a clear, concise articulation of our fundamental purpose, why we exist, and what we intend to achieve. And our proposed mission statement will not surprise you. It will, in fact, affirm our historic mission. By engaging our students with dedicated faculty and staff in teaching, research, and creative endeavors, we empower our graduates to have fulfilling careers and to have meaningful lives. Our mission statement also recognizes that in order to honor our promise, we must inspire our graduates to be lifelong learners and to serve others so that we may enhance the vitality of our region, our state, and our world. Now, that last part, that our world part, may seem a bit audacious, but it's accurate. Hayat Badawi is an example of how our university's impact can extend far beyond the borders of our state. Hayat is a student in our English department's doctoral program. She was born and raised in Saudi Arabia. In high school, she told her classmates that she wanted to become an English teacher. They laughed, but she persisted. Hayat earned a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in English literature at King Saud University. And then in 2014, she moved here to Muncie with her husband. And this is what she said: "It is here at Ball State University that I finally found myself, embraced my identity, and excelled in my field." When Hayat completes her dissertation and receives her degree here, she will return to Saudi Arabia to become a full-time professor. And she says she may also pursue a career in politics because, again, these are her words, she wants to advance women's causes in her country. Hayat personifies the span of our university's influence and impact, the broad scope of our mission. To achieve this mission, we must be guided by certain core values. The committee will propose that we retain our commitment to the enduring values that are articulated in our beneficence pledge: excellence, integrity, inclusiveness, social responsibility, and gratitude. The committee, though, will also propose that we add 2 additional values to this important list. Consistent with our culture, we will recommend that we include innovation, a commitment to being even more creative, more responsive, and more progressive. And to meet the challenges we face and to seize the opportunities those challenges present, we will also recommend that we add the value courage, a commitment to set ambitious goals and to take the risks necessary to achieve them. While we may be expressly articulating these two values for the first time in a strategic plan, we know that these values have been firmly rooted in the Ball State experience for many, many years. And we've been instilling and nurturing those values in our students for a long time. And to illustrate this point, let me tell you about Grace Hollers, a Ball State undergraduate student who was recognized as the Indiana College Photographer of the Year. In 2016, as part of the immersive learning experience BSU at the Games, Grace traveled to Brazil. During that trip, she took photographs of the Olympic competition and the athletes, as well as Rio de Janeiro. As she described in an essay in our alumni magazine, she said she became addicted to the rush, a photography high. So this past February, she traveled to South Korea to take photographs of the Winter Olympics. One of her photographs, a photograph of snowboarder Shaun White, taken right after he won his third gold medal, was so powerful that it was displayed among photographs that have been taken by some of the most accomplished sports photographers in the world. And here's how Grace described the moment when she saw this display. Sinking to the floor, I felt a warm rush of happiness as my eyes filled with tears. I was looking at my dream hanging on a wall right in front of me. And Grace credits our university with helping her to achieve that childhood dream. Again, her words. I remember the first time I walked through the doors of the Art and Journalism building and realized I had come to Ball State in search of something. I couldn't tell you exactly what it was, but I promised myself I would find it here. After capturing images of so many remarkable people and places near and far, I realized the possibility that one day I will find what began as a little girl's search through the viewfinder of her father's camera. After all, I was told I could be anything when I was growing up. Instead of fearing the fire, I decided to become it. Ladies and gentlemen, Grace and all of our students are living proof of the values of innovation and courage, values that we nurture and instill every day. So, inspired by Grace's story and our many successes, the committee will propose 4 ambitious long-term goals. The first unifying goal relates to undergraduate excellence and innovation. We will propose that by 2040, our university will provide the best on-campus undergraduate educational experience in the state of Indiana. We know we are already on the path to achieve that ambitious goal. For example, in less than 10 years, our on-time 4-year graduation rates have improved more than 21 percentage points, far faster than any university in the state of Indiana. And that progress is reflective of our collective commitment to student success. It's also reflective of the distinctive experiences that we provide to our undergraduate students on our campus. For example, every year we provide more than 4,000 immersive learning opportunities to students just like Grace. We also provide many opportunities for our undergraduate students to conduct meaningful research with our outstanding teacher scholars. Those experiences inspire our students to design their own research projects. I want to tell you about Hannah Fluler, who worked with Renee Twible. Renee is a Ball State nursing professor and a researcher at IU Health Ball Memorial. Hannah is an honors college student majoring in nursing. Her pilot study will soon be submitted for approval by the hospital. The study is going to examine the effects of movement and music therapy for newborns suffering from drug withdrawal. According to Hannah, there has been no published research on whether this type of treatment helps newborns with these symptoms. Her work has the potential to be groundbreaking, and it is the result of a first-of-a-kind fellowship. In order to make measurable progress toward that 2040 goal, the committee will propose a comprehensive array of strategic imperatives that we should develop and implement by 2024, and one of those proposed strategies will be to provide more research opportunities for undergraduate students with our teachers, scholars, faculty members like Renee. The second unifying goal that the committee will propose concerns advanced and lifelong learning. We continue to increase our online offerings for both undergraduate and graduate students, and we have a robust portfolio of graduate programs. Some of those graduate programs are growing. For example, enrollment in the master's degree in applied behavioral analysis within the Department of Special Education, that program has grown 145% in just 5 years. The program has established a partnership with the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum to train their staff to work with individuals with autism. And a group of faculty have traveled to China to recruit more students and to develop partnership with hospitals and universities and treatment centers in that country. But now we need to develop a strategic approach to develop, to grow, and where necessary, to sunset graduate programs. We also need to do a better job of serving adult students throughout their lifetime educational journey. And I want to share the experiences of 2 of our students because those 2 stories will illustrate the impact of our work. Suni Matter earned her first degree from Ivy Tech. She spent 10 years working before she felt called to pursue a career that would allow her to work with underserved populations here in Muncie, the community she calls home. In 2015, Suni walked into Melinda Messinio's office and knew she was where she needed to be. Suni felt welcomed by our sociology department. More importantly, she felt a connection to our campus. A year later, Suni graduated with her bachelor's degree. Then she applied to our graduate school, and this past May, Suni earned her master's degree in sociology. She credits the support of her students in her cohort. She credits the support of her family, her campus experience, and her phenomenal professors for driving her passion to succeed. And over this past summer, Suni's dream of working with underserved populations came true. She is now the school pantry program manager for Muncie's Second Harvest Food Bank. And then there's Cameron Gonzales. When Cameron decided to go back to school, she was in her 5th year teaching for the Department of Defense in Korea. What she was unable to find in looking into programs elsewhere, she found right here at our university, thanks to a unique program offered by the Department of Educational Leadership in TC. Cameron's professors and advisors designed a program that enabled her to succeed without stepping foot on our campus until her graduation days. And yes, I said days, because after Cameron was hooded as an education specialist in 2014, she then returned to Ball State a year later and was hooded with a doctorate. Cameron credits the flexibility of our online programs and the responsiveness of her doctoral advisor for allowing her to complete her degrees. They prepared her for the rigor of her work as an adjunct professor for the University of Phoenix and as a gifted resource specialist in the Clark County School District in Las Vegas, Nevada. These stories, and so many others, they demonstrate the ongoing impact, the sustained transformational power of an educational journey that extends over a lifetime. The third unifying goal that the committee will propose concerns community engagement and impact. We are very engaged with the community, and for many years that engagement has had a significant positive impact. We will propose that our campus build on this legacy of service. We will challenge ourselves to become internationally recognized for mobilizing and leading community partnerships that will revitalize Muncie and the East Central Indiana region. Our sustained effort will ensure that this prosperity and good fortune will extend to all of our neighbors in the years to come. We know this work is well underway. This past year, more than 4,000 Ball State students donated approximately 80,000 hours of community service. Our faculty are also engaged in a variety of organizations and initiatives that are improving the lives of the people in the communities that we serve. For example, Professor Josh Groover worked with a team of colleagues, students, and volunteers to establish the Muncie Food Hub Partnership. This partnership is supporting local farmers while providing fresh, healthy food to people in our community who are food insecure. Josh worked in the Peace Corps for 2 years, but he says, and quote, "I have found my purpose in Muncie." Brady Eulis is a Muncie native and a Ball State graduate. Brady is the new executive director of the Muncie Arts and Culture Council. She believes that local arts and culture fuel community growth and transformation. Brady has chosen to stay here in Muncie because it has given her an opportunity at a very young age to be connected to meaningful work. She said that living, working, and leading in a city like Muncie provides the most emotional return on investment. And I agree. As you know, one of our most ambitious community initiatives is our new partnership with the Muncie Community Schools. In May, we accepted the responsibility to appoint a new school board to manage MCS. That new school board has begun governing MCS on July 1st, and like you, I am confident that the new school board members will do the hard work that is necessary to transform our public schools into a thriving system that provides an excellent education to every child in Muncie. And I'm equally confident in our university's ability to embrace the challenges of this new partnership with optimism, tenacity, and humility. This confidence is due in large part to our existing involvement with MCS. Because as you know, for many years, our faculty, our staff, administrators, and students have consulted with MCS on a variety of issues. Our graduates teach in their schools, and our schools within the context of the community has been deeply embedded in several MCS schools. Earlier this year, we learned that this innovative teaching model had received a 2018 W.K. Kellogg Foundation Community Engagement Scholarship Award. This is a prestigious national award that recognizes programs that demonstrate how colleges and universities have redesigned their learning, discovery, and engagement missions to become even more involved with their community. And I want to congratulate many of our faculty members who have been involved in this achievement: Professors Eva Zygmunt, Pat Clark, Kristen Cipollone, John Clausen, David Roof, Serena Shim, Dorshell Stewart, and Susan Tancock. Thank you all very much for the work that you do. What is extraordinary about the schools within the context model is that it gives our students confidence in the classroom by immersing them in the communities their students call home. Senior Sadie Matchett is a Muncie native who said the program challenges our elementary education majors to confront their own unconscious biases. These are her words. "I'm scared to think of what kind of teacher I would have been without it. This program creates great teachers. It has made me a better person. It's phenomenal." We have other programs that are benefiting our local public schools, and I want to tell you just about one more. Professor Rona Robinson-Hill, she's an assistant professor in our biology department. She had a long career in research and secondary education before coming to Ball State. When she arrived here, she wanted to have a greater impact in the community by providing supplemental science lessons to students enrolled in MCS, where almost 40% of students are minorities and almost 80% receive free or reduced lunch. Her program is called We Can Do Science. The program helps our students create and implement lesson plans for elementary school students in after-school programs, and it helps our students overcome their anxieties of interacting with children from different backgrounds. These are just two exemplary programs that illustrate how expanding our partnership with MCS is not a diversion. To the contrary, our new partnership with MCS is an extension of our mission. Our fourth and final unifying goal is institutional and inclusive excellence. We will propose that by 2024, our university design and implement a comprehensive array of strategic imperatives to ensure that throughout the institution, we encourage and reward innovation, effectiveness, and individual and collective responsibility. Some of these strategies are important, but somewhat impersonal. For example, based on the substantial feedback that the committee received from our colleagues, we will recommend that we develop more effective and efficient business processes and governance structures, and that we develop a new incentive-based budget model. But some of the other strategic imperatives will affect our faculty and staff more directly. For example, the committee will recommend that we develop and implement more intentional programs that promote the professional development and personal well-being of every member of our faculty and staff. You know, our mission, as I said, is to empower students to have successful careers, and then as graduates also to lead meaningful lives. But in order to achieve that mission for our students and our graduates, we must also enable all of our employees to lead engaged and meaningful lives. When the committee releases the draft, you will see that the first strategic imperative under this unifying goal is about inclusive excellence. Throughout the planning process, we heard from you that we must do more to embed cultural competencies in curricular and co-curricular experiences, and that we must provide more extensive training for faculty and staff. We know that a commitment to diversity and inclusion is critical. It's critical to the education of our students. We also know that when we embrace diversity and inclusion fully, the impact is powerful. Let me share an example of just how powerful that impact can be. Tawanda Williamson Young was born and raised in Darlington, South Carolina. While in college in her home state, she signed up for the ROTC. She wanted to be sure that she had a job after she graduated so she wouldn't have to move back home with her parents. Tawanda stayed in the United States Army because it was very rewarding for her. During her military service, she earned a master's degree in adult education and executive development for public service right here at Ball State. She said this graduate education provided her with the skills to teach and to coach and to mentor others. Her education also enabled her to overcome a significant personal challenge. See, 30 years ago, an Army battalion commander told Tawanda that he would make sure that she would never be promoted to first lieutenant because he thought that women had no place in the Army. She responded, "Sir, I will be here when you retire." And she fulfilled that promise. And in fact, hold on, hang on. And in fact, in December, long after he had retired, our alumna, Tawanda Young, was promoted to Brigadier General. She is presently one of only a few female African-American generals in the United States Army. But as you know, diversity and inclusion is more than preparing underrepresented minorities for the many challenges that we know they face. Indeed, our university has a proud history of being a leader in educating students with disabilities, for example. While we are effective in graduating students with disabilities, national statistics indicate that 50% of college graduates with physical disabilities are unemployed, notwithstanding their education. To address this issue, our disability services partnered with Eskenazi Health in Indianapolis to create internships for students with physical disabilities. Since the program began in 2013, it has provided 67 internships, and 28 of those opportunities were offered to Ball State students with physical disabilities. The program has grown every year. It has become so successful that a new initiative was created to expand its reach. The Initiative for Empowerment and Economic Independence starts students with physical disabilities down the path to gainful, equitable employment. Luke Labus earned 2 degrees from Ball State. He was one of the interns who benefited from the program. In his own words, this is what Luke said: "You're not stuffing envelopes. You're not going to get coffee for office workers. You're doing really meaningful work that is changing lives." That's our purpose, to do meaningful work that will change lives. And I want to commend Courtney Jarrett, our new Director of Disability Services, Greg Fairback, and Larry Markle. Thank you so much for your commitment to this important program. Now, I just have 2 final but important comments about our strategic plan, and both of them relate to implementation and execution. First, during my description of 1 or 2 of those goals, I used the phrase measurable progress, with the emphasis on measurable. Successful implementation of our plan will require us to develop appropriate metrics and to set aggressive targets. We must also regularly assess our progress towards those measurable targets. Second, when we distribute our proposed plan, you will quickly see that it's different than some previous plans. It is not, you'll be pleased to learn, it is not a long list of 100 or more discrete tactics. It is not a task list. To the contrary, it is an ambitious plan with several bold, high-level strategies. So during the implementation phase, Each college and each division will be responsible for developing its own strategic plan. You will be entrusted. You will be empowered to determine how each one of you can best contribute to our success. And that's because I believe that it is only with your continuing input and with your expertise that we can realize our true potential. Now I want to share just a personal reflection, a personal observation. Throughout my presentation, I've identified many reasons why I believe our university is poised to thrive. I told you that I'm confident in our bright future because of our beautiful facilities, our outstanding academic programs, our courageous students, and our dedicated faculty and staff. But I'd like to share one final reason why I'm confident about our future. It's about the character of our people on our campus and in our community. You know, Jennifer and I have lived in a lot of different cities over the course of our lives. When we were children, both of our respective families moved around an awful lot. And after we were married 30 years ago, we moved our 5 children several times, from Brooklyn, New York, to Raleigh, North Carolina, to Shaker Heights, Ohio, to Northern Kentucky, and now here to Muncie, Indiana. We know from personal experience that every community is different. People come from different cultures. They have different accents. They cherish special foods, whether it's soft pretzels or Skyline chili, or here in East Central Indiana, deep-fried pork tenderloin sandwiches. But Jennifer and I have come to know that notwithstanding these cultural differences, people are generally kind, they're generous, and they're welcoming. Yes, they're kind and welcoming, even in Brooklyn, New York, in their own special way. But Jennifer and I have noticed something truly special here on this campus and in this community. As we have walked across this campus and as we've walked the aisles in local grocery stores, and when we sat at the bar at Savage's or had a beer at the Elm Street Brewery, so many people have stopped us or spoken to us, and they've said, "Thank you for coming to Ball State. Thank you for coming to Muncie." Or just thank you. You and your colleagues have not simply welcomed us to the area. You and so many people have expressed your gratitude for us having decided to come here to this university and to this community. In our experience, that expression of gratitude is unusual. It's special. And it has inspired us to embrace this opportunity with a deepened commitment to serve you, to serve our colleagues and our neighbors. And I want to share just one memorable experience to illustrate this point. After our convocation last year, several people told me that it was the first time that they had heard the president publicly acknowledge at this convocation the hard work of the women and men who make our campus clean and beautiful. And a few weeks after that program, I was walking from the parking lot to my office in the administration building. One of our staff colleagues, who is a landscaper, drove over in one of those little green trucks to speak with me, and her name is Marcy Sharp. Marcy told me that she had heard about my remarks from someone else. She'd heard about them from someone else because she wasn't here with us that morning. She was out working on the grounds. As she began to tell me that she appreciated my remarks, Marcy began to get a bit emotional. So she paused, and she paused to regain her composure. And then she said, "Thank you. Thank you." And then she closed the window to her green truck and drove off to go back to work. Well, Marcy Sharp is here with us this morning. Marcy, thank you for your dedicated service to our university. Your work and the work of your colleagues, it contributes to the success of our mission. You inspire me. Thank you. So inspired by Marcy and so many others, I ask that you take a moment today to express your gratitude. Express your gratitude to your colleagues for their contributions. over the weekend, take a moment to express your appreciation to your family and your friends. We know that their support gives us strength and courage. And then on Monday, when we return to this beautiful campus, let's go to work. Guided by beneficence, guided by her enduring values, let's continue to build the bright, bold future that is worthy of the women and the men who founded and who had the vision and the generosity to found this university 100 years ago. So now, before I conclude, I want to say a few words about the debate involving John Schnatter. Even before our board released its statement 2 weeks ago, I anticipated that I would be expected to talk about that issue at this event. Over that following weekend, I continued to think about what I should say to you this morning. These issues are hard. These issues are difficult. These issues are complex. And in our polarized society, our discussions about racial justice, those conversations sometimes generate more heat than light. I believe that understanding is much more likely to occur when we gather in small groups for courageous conversations, as opposed to when somebody like me makes pronouncements from a podium. So over that weekend, I called Bill Jenkins to share an idea and to ask for his assistance. I had spoken to Bill on that Friday afternoon, the day the board's statement was released. Bill was disappointed. Bill was frustrated. Nevertheless, I thought that Bill would be willing to help me. I told Bill, I said I was searching for the right words to communicate my thoughts to all of you. I told him that the lyrics to a song written and performed by James Taylor best captured my hopes, my thoughts, my emotions. Some of you may be familiar with the song. It's called Shed a Little Light. The song was written as a tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King. It was written as a tribute in recognition of the national holiday celebrating his birthday. Here's the first verse. Let us turn our thoughts today to Martin Luther King and recognize that there are ties between us, all men and women living on the earth. Ties of hope and love, sister and brotherhood. That we are bound together in our desire to see the world become a place in which our children can grow free and strong. We are bound together by the task that stands before us and the road that lies ahead. We are bound, and we are bound. That Sunday evening, Bill said that he would consider my request and that he'd get back to me. Bill called me promptly on Monday. He told me that he'd spoken to several of his colleagues and some of our students, and he said that they would be willing to perform for us. And then Bill called me the next day. He told me that the students had been speaking among themselves and to him, and he said they had decided that they would prefer to sing a different song. They wanted to sing the song Glory from the movie Selma. Bill said that the students felt that glory better captured their perspectives and their thoughts. Initially, I hesitated. Frankly, I preferred my selection because I wanted a song that communicated my thoughts, my sentiments. But I quickly realized that the student selection was the better route. I realized that it was time for me to do more listening. Indeed, as we search for the passage through the darkness and the mist, I suggest that all of us should do more listening more listening with an open mind and with an open heart. More listening with an open heart, with a heart filled with humility and hope. So as we conclude our program this morning, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the students from the Ethnic Theater Alliance, some of our colleagues, our alumni, and some alumni guests as they perform Glory.
We are the Ethnic Theater Alliance. We would like to thank President Mearns for inviting us to perform today. As members of the Ball State community, we pledge to value the intrinsic worth of every member of the community. We are important, and when we are made to feel that we do not matter, we deserve to talk about that, and we deserve to be hurt by that. We deserve to be respected and to learn from the differences in people, ideas, and opinions, and we deserve to have the glory of our voices be heard.
I'm tired. So I know you're tired. But do you know how I feel? I'm actually asking because I don't know if you care.
My ancestors sang, "We shall overcome," and yet I'm still giving the same speech. So how far have we really come?
Didn't you know progress is just derivative? It makes overseers out of officers, screams slurs in the name of subverting political correctness, defects debate of my humanity to the general public, but
I want to make something clear to you.
Baby, I'm black.
Can someone out there tell me what is wrong with that?
remember to forget the way glory glazes over the non-survivors, the way strength is just a victim of circumstance, how hard it must feel to be the oppressor.
You don't have a word that symbolizes, that degrades, that says you don't belong here. So I invite you to listen to me as I listen to you. I want us to do the same thing. I want us to empathize, not sympathize, because then we can all scream glory.
Like stories woven into the seams of this country, like the fingers on our fists.
Glory. I'm tired of discussing the power behind racial slurs. I want us to get more serious about other people's beliefs, their cultures.
Glory. So Ball State, when I say pledge to maintain high standards of scholarship and excellence,
pledge to say socially responsibly active,
pledge to value the intrinsic voice of every member in the community, I say glory. You say glory. We all say glory. So let's follow the pledge and let's do the work. Glory.
One day, when the glory comes, it'll be ours. It'll be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Oh, glory. 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 Oh,
glory. Hands to the heavens, no man, no weapon formed against. Yes, glory is destined. Every day women and men become legends. Sin that go against our skin become blessings. The movement is a rhythm to us. Freedom is like religion to us. Justice is juxtaposition in us. Freedom for all just ain't specific enough. One son died, his spirit is revisiting us. Truant living in us, resistance is us.
That's why Rosa sat on the bus. That's why we walk through Ferguson with our hands up. And when they men and women and man up, they say stay down, then we stand up. Shots we on the ground, the camera panned up. King pointed to the mountaintop, then we ran up.
One day, when the glory comes, it'll be ours. It'll be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Glory. 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 Oh. Glory. we'll cry glory, glory, oh glory, glory, ooh, glory, glory, we'll cry glory, oh glory,
glory, glory. Sound us now for every man, woman, and child. Even Jesus got his crown in front of a crowd. They march with the torch, we gon' run with it now. Never look back, we done gone hundreds of miles. From dark road, heroes, to become a hero. Make the League of Justice's power was the people. Enemy is lethal, a king became regal. Jim Crow saw the face on a bald eagle.
The biggest weapon is to stay peaceful. We sing, our music is the cuts that we bleed through. Somewhere in the dream we had an epiphany. Now we right the wrongs in history. No one can win the war individually. It takes the wisdom of our elders and young people's energy. Welcome to the story we call victory. The coming of the Lord, my eyes have seen the glory.
One day, when the glory comes,